I'm just peeling some garlic cloves because I've got a huge leg of mutton here that I'm putting in the slow cooker. We've got such a busy day ahead today that I need to get something in the slow cooker, because I can guarantee you by the time we finish doing everything we need to get done today, I'm not going to feel like cooking tonight. So I've got some homegrown garlic that I'm peeling. I've smashed the cloves up a bit, and I've got the leg of mutton that I've just pierced to put some of the garlic cloves in, a couple of onions, and it's going in the slow cooker because the arg is broken. Stephen's got it on his list to get that fixed, but he's also got lots of other things on the list as well. So let's have a look at what we need to get achieved this weekend.
Like Tracy said, we've got a lot of jobs to do. So the first job is taking this 2 ton of gravel from here to the pathways in here to tidy this area up finally. Then these 2 pieces of glass that we picked up off Marketplace to permanently replace these lids on these 2 cold frames.
But before Stephen can do that, I need to get these onions from here and get them planted in this bit of the greenhouse that the chickens have destroyed.
Then I'm going to take these pile of pallets and scrap wood and try and create some kind of little play area climbing frame for these little ones.
And while Stephen's doing that, I need to take this rhubarb from this bed and I'm going to split it and divide it between these 2 beds here while tidying up the rest of the beds too. And on top of that, we've got to get these 2 trees planted. The potatoes need chitting.
I've got to get all this patio cleaned. So it goes from this to what I did last night to this. And as well as all that, we've got updates on the log store, the ducklings and the chicks. So hopefully we'll get around to all that. So I can't stand around here talking all day. We'll get on. I'm taking bets on how much of that will actually get done. So this leg of lamb, or mutton should I say, is absolutely huge. Just to say if it's in this slow cooker pot, it's a 3.7 litre maybe, can't remember, but it's not bigger than 4, so around that. So I've got some onions in with it, as I said, but also I've got some dried rosemary, because I haven't been out and got any fresh. And if I go out there now, you can guarantee I'll end up getting dragged into a different job. And I want to get this on, or else everybody will be blaming me when there's no food later tonight. So let's go and see how much of that we actually get done. That's a bit, that's it. Perfect, thank you. Well, that's the first job done, and it looks a million miles better. It'll keep all the dirt down, all the weeds out hopefully. It is spread a bit thinly than we'd like, but 2 ton maybe just wasn't enough. Maybe we'll have to get another ton or a couple of ton. But we have got another few bits to patch up and fill in, so another 2 ton and we should get all this finishing up to scratch. So we'll just get on with the next jobs. Next job I'm going to get on with is these cold frames. Over the years we've been using plastic, but as you can see it's just deteriorated, and with the storms it's just pulled it all off. Tried a few times with drawn pins, then I tried with lots of wood to hold it down, but nothing worked. So we got a good find on Marketplace, so we're going to try that this time. So while Stephen is out there doing the cold frame, I'm in here with these onions. They look really healthy, don't they? You would think, what's the problem? These are actually from seed last year, and if you've been around for a while, you'll know that I was umming and ahhing about when to put them in because I didn't get them in the ground quick enough, and then I just decided not to because I thought they were no good. But they're actually looking really, really healthy. These are stew run onions. So what I thought I'm going to do, excuse the cockerel as always, is just try putting these in this greenhouse here that I showed you, because at the end of the day nothing else is going in the greenhouse for a good while yet, and by the time we've got something ready to go in the greenhouse, these might have made something. If not, we've got green onion stalks, as somebody said in the comments last time. So I'm going to get a few of these in. I also have some red Welsh onions, but I have a feeling that they're not normal onions, they might be perennial, so I need to do a bit of research on those before I make a decision on those. But for now, I'm just going to get as many of these in as I can and give it a good water in here. Typically, just as I went to start putting the onions in, I realised that the other job that I had to get done in the greenhouse was to get it washed. So I did the front bit of it a couple of weeks ago or so, but I didn't do the back bit. And now it's all done and you can see outside. So I've spent the last 20 minutes or so getting on with that. So now I'm going to start getting some onions in. Well, that's that done. I've just gone for a few at the back and at the front there, so hopefully they'll come good. And if they don't, as I say, nothing wasted, because we're not waiting to put anything in here just at the minute. But what I have remembered is that there's a whole host of other jobs that I forgot to put on this morning's to-do list that I need to get on with, starting with the rhubarb, but more importantly, getting those pesky raspberries dug out of the ground, because they are the bane of my life. So I'm going to get the rhubarb done first, the raspberries, the perennial kale, and the rosemary.
Well, that's one done with another great marketplace find. We were quoted £200 for 2 bits of glass for these 2 frames. So I had a look on marketplace and picked up these shower screens. So they're toughened glass, so if they do smash it'll just all shatter. So just secured it in each corner. So all we'll do is just lift it up, put these brackets in. I'll put a couple of notches in this wood for in the summer when we start using it, just to hold it a bit more secure. But pretty pleased with that. That's another job done. Well, there's 2 new cold frames finished with 2 shower screens salvaged off marketplace. I've said it before, I'll say it again, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So just leave them now ready for when the peppers are ready to go in a few months' time.
Well, it's now or never for the rhubarb, so I've dug a circle around it and literally cut it down the middle, which is the best way that it looked to be cut. If I did it that way, I was going to lose too much of the stems that are already coming. This is what it looks like inside. Obviously that's where the spade went through. So now I'm going to go and dig the holes where it's going to go, and I'm going to need to get the wheelbarrow because it weighs a blooming ton. Well, it's in. You can tell Stephen didn't do it, but it's in. So fingers crossed this takes root. Now I just need to go and get the other one and get that put in over there and get tidied up a bit. As you can tell from the colour of my cheeks and the heavy breathing, next one's done as well. I honestly don't know how Stephen does it. He is so bloody fit. Clearly I'm not. Anyway, second one's in, so that's another tick. Rhubarb done. Well, this is the first day that I've been warm from the sun and sweating from the work that we've been doing. Sorry, that's TMI. I'm done. This bed, so in this bed we had the perennial kale, the raspberries and the 2 rhubarbs, and the rosemary that was dead. So the rhubarb you saw me do yesterday, that's in situ. Let's see how that goes over the next few weeks and months. Fingers crossed. Oh, excuse me. It'll come on really well. Now, I was thinking about cardboard and compost for this bed, but to be honest, ask me no questions, I'll tell you no lies. It's looking really good after I've done this. So the perennial kale, we thought it was going to be some huge roots on it, just literally pulled it and it just came away. So that was obviously ready to come out, completely rotten. The rosemary, the same. I've left whatever roots were there. If it comes back, it comes back. If by planting time it hasn't, I'll take those roots out. And I've managed to get as many of those raspberry roots out as I could. Turned it all over. It's really, really nice soil. I'm really pleased with it. 2 barrows of stones and roots and goodness knows what. Anyway, that is another really good job done. You've got to do what you've got to do, and I needed to do this, so I'm really pleased. So that's what the end result looks like. Just leaving that rhubarb in situ. The other one was here
perennial kale was here where my shadow is, and the rosemary was about there. There was a few strawberries in the mix as well. I've taken all of those out and everything is just going on one of the compost heaps. Where I've got really big things like this, excuse my shadow, where I've got the really thick stems that will take forever to compost down, they don't go into the new compost bins. We just dispose of those in a different area that doesn't ever rot down. It's just kind of for that kind of thing. So that's how it's looking. Really pleased with that end result. It's that time of year, isn't it, when you're too hot one minute and too cold the next. This bed has been raked over. It was fantastic soil. It had the sprouts in it, which are all there. I'm going to pick those off. The ones that are no good in terms of the blown, they're going to go to the sheep, and the rest are going to get blanched and put in the freezer. We'll be eating them fresh all week, so if there's not that many, I won't bother freezing them. We'll just use them fresh. They do tend to last quite well in the fridge. But that's another bed done. So in total today, we have got that bed done, this bed done, although I started that yesterday, and this bed as well. So I've just gone through and weeded them, taken out as many of the rogue raspberry canes that had come up from the ones that we've taken out into other beds and things. Hopefully that'll diminish this year now that those raspberries have been taken out. Excuse the wind. Next up, not today, this is another job for next weekend, is to rake and get the strawberry bread, there's a different one, bed prepped. So that's on the list as well. Another one that I've got done today is this one here, which is going to be squash. That's going to be all squash this year. I have a feeling it's too windy for the camera, so my apologies, but getting there, nearly all done. Stephen is doing the patio. That is a huge job, super painful on your back, and it takes hours to spray every single centimetre with the jet wash. That reminds me, I do have the greenhouse roof to do, though I didn't think we had that booked in for this weekend. It's getting there. This is my wheelbarrow of goodies that needs emptying. You can see this is the perennial kale that just came out with an easy tug. Next up for me, so this gooseberry bush here, it doesn't look it on camera at all, but this has been pruned. I've got 3 more that don't look like anything at the moment because of the time of the year, obviously, but these guys need pruning as well. I'm going to try and get in and do them, but can you see how dangerous they are? They are so thorny, it is unbelievable. It's always a pain to do these, to be quite honest with you. This here is a raspberry cane that has come up from the ones in the middle, so that needs taken out. And I also need to figure out what I'm going to do with the ground here, because it's already starting to become overrun with nettles. I think I might have to put ground membrane down around these this year, because the nettles do cause me a big problem. If you remember just the other day, or the other video, I showed you the roots that are coming already. These pink ones here are all nettle roots, and this is what they look like. I've taken them out. They are absolutely tons. So for there's pink and yellow, I'm guessing it's just a difference in the age of them. But this is creeping buttercup. That is the bane of my life in here as well, because it goes into all of the pathways, and you can't get in with it being gravel. You can't get in and weed those. Anyway, all of this is already done from a pruning perspective. As you saw the other day, I need to get in and physically pull out all of the nettle weeds roots that I can, but I'm going to get on and get these gooseberry bushes pruned first.
Well, I've just took a break for 5 hours on that patio and my back's giving me a bit of jip, so I came to see how Tracy's getting on. She's just pulled these sprout tops out, so I thought we'd come and give the goats a little treat and show you what we knocked up for them yesterday. So this is just a load of wood we acquired, and 2 pallets, an old slide that we had on the other ones, which they never used, but we didn't have Hazel at that time, so maybe she'll use it. But they had a little play on it yesterday and they seem to be enjoying it. So what more can they ask for? Bit of a boredom buster for them.
Yeah, good girl. Don't you want to use it? You're too big for it. Yeah? There you go. Wow, that Yumski. That Yumski, yeah. Here you go, Apple.
We've got the chickens. Catch! Just try and train you. That's it. How can we get away? Here you go then. No, 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 no.
She's trying to figure out how.
Hey, she made it up. Clever girl. Clever girl. Clever. You're wary up there, aren't you? Yeah.
We also said we had a few updates for you, so this is the update on the chicks that we got last September roughly. So they're about 20 weeks old, they've just come into lay, so they're starting to lay little pullet eggs. So we're starting to get a few of them off them. And like I said, we said in a few of the other videos, the Rhode Island Reds and Welsumers, I don't want the sheep to eat them, is what we're breeding. So we're breeding Welsumers for the eggs mainly and to sell as pure breeds. And the other ones are Rhode Island Reds. This is one of the cockerels off them. So unfortunately, we're breeding these for meat as well. Well, not unfortunately for us, but unfortunately for them. So this is one of the cockerels, and he's 20 weeks old, and he's got quite a bit of weight in him. So he'll make a hell of a table bird. So this will probably be roughly the age we select these at, 16 to 20 weeks, and they'll make ideal table birds. And before I go and put him back with the rest of them, I'll just show you the little eggs there. These are the Rhode Island Red eggs, the lightly coloured ones, and the Welsumers lay this nice deep dark coloured egg there, so you can easily tell the difference. So we'll know who's who when we're picking them for the incubator. Oh son. And a little update on our ducklings. These are 3 weeks old at the minute, and they are now putting some size on already. We got 9 from our first batch, which will also be for the freezer. So they're growing well, they're putting a lot of meat on. I know it's a shame to look at them like that when they're this age. So the plan is, in between us waiting for the pullets, the chicks, to get up to size where they can actually produce chicks in the eggs, we'll be putting another batch of duck eggs in, but they'll be for sale if no one wants to buy them. They'll be for us for eggs.
Well, I'll show you, but I'm not sure that it's obvious on camera because of the amount of debris that's on the floor as well. That's all the gooseberry bushes pruned. As pruned as I'm going to do them for now, unless something takes over, and I think that I need to take it back a little bit more. Essentially, I've just made it so that I can get around each one and get in to harvest them. They will be budding in no time, I'm sure. So now I've got all of this to tidy up, and then one more job for me, and that's it for the weekend. So we've gone from coats off, hats off, hair up, to coats on and hats on, and actually gloves as well. As soon as that sun started going down, it's really chilled the air down. I'm going to go and grab the rake, and I'm going to rake out everything that I've done, but I'm going to need my really tough gloves to be able to pick everything up. And I don't particularly want this on the compost heap either, so I'll have to figure something out there. And then I need to just get the potatoes out. I'm going to chit them in the shed this year. I normally do it in the house, but the dogs took a liking to picking them up and running off with them last year. So I'm going to get those out and get them chitted before we lose the light. You can see it's absolutely gorgeous. The sun's going down in the distance there. It's been a beautiful, beautiful day.
Well, finally that's all done. I'm glad it's only once a year. It took about 7 or 8 hours. I know it's not really smallholding related, but it's another job that needs doing. So basically I'm just after some advice. This area where I've done here has come up lovely and clean and beautiful, and yet over here the same paving, but on here it's got this like black mould spots all over it. It's all over the patio. I'm just wondering if anybody's got any tried and tested techniques or product or anything to use to get rid of it. It would be extremely appreciated, unless one of the comments is do it twice a year, then I'm not interested. So at least that's all summer ready anyway, and we can forget about that for the rest of the year. So now I'm just going to see what Tracy wants a hand with before I jack in for the night.
So this is all of the potatoes that we've got for this year. I'll go through the varieties in a different video so that I don't get too boring on this one. But basically this year I bought a lot of coloured varieties, so red and blue, because apparently they're a lot better for you. There's more antioxidants in them and it's just a bit more fun really, isn't it? So we are going to get all of these separated out into the egg boxes, because all of these are going to chit in the shed for the next few weeks or so. Right?
There you go.
So have we got everything done?
Well, the arg is not on. And them trees aren't planted. But other than that.
I think we've done extremely well, won't you?
Yeah. Tubers. Pretty calm going.
Chits.
This job's the chits.
Right, that is the last of the potatoes done. So I'm going to get these tidied up. And that's about it from us, I think, this weekend. We've pretty much got everything done that we wanted to. But the couple of small jobs that we haven't are going to roll over into next week. At the end of the day, it's much lighter after work, isn't it now? So we've got till about 5:30. So straight back at it tomorrow. Does it fly?
Cleared up next weekend anyway. I want to get that fence built. So.
Right guys, thank you very much for watching. We will see you on the next one.